Everyone thinks the ultimate secret to success is hustling 24 hours a day, sleeping only 4 hours a night, and grinding until you physically drop. We idolize the workaholic. We're conditioned to believe that if you aren't constantly exhausted, you aren't working hard enough. But that is completely wrong. The real difference between the elite and the average isn't how many hours they work. It is how they manage their focus. In fact, the fastest way to absolutely ruin a person's potential is to let them engage in blind, exhausting hard work. You don't need to burn yourself out, and you definitely don't need a grueling 5 a.m. routine to be a highly successful person in life. You just need to stop manufacturing fake busyness and start thinking like a top performer. Today, I'm going to show you 5 minimalist habits that top performers use to achieve massive results with half the effort. These are simple shifts in how you operate. If you start doing these things, you'll stop drowning in endless tasks. You'll reclaim your free time and actually start making real, tangible progress. Let's jump right into it. 1. They use a hunter to-do list, not a gatherer to-do list. Average people are gatherers. They write down 20 different things on their to-do list, like reply to emails or organize their desk, call the cable company, and maybe work on that big project. They spend all day checking off the easy, low-value tasks. By 5 p.m., they feel exhausted and think they had a productive day, but their life hasn't moved forward an inch. This is fake productivity. It is a dopamine trap. Top performers are hunters. They don't care about ticking 20 boxes. Every morning, they identify the single biggest target, the 1 or 2 tasks that will actually move the needle and generate real value for them. They call this the most important task, or MIT. They ignore the small, annoying distractions and hunt down that one massive goal. Once they slay that target, the day is an absolute win. Even if they leave 10 minor emails completely unanswered. Stop gathering pebbles when you should be hunting boulders. Focus on the core lever that actually changes your trajectory. 2. They practice strategic quitting. We're constantly told that winners never quit, and quitters never win. This is one of the most toxic pieces of advice ever given. Average people stay in bad relationships and stick with failing business ideas. They read terrible books until the very last page, simply because they're afraid of being labeled a quitter. They fall victim to the sunk cost fallacy, pouring good time after bad, exhausting themselves on dead ends. Highly successful people quit things constantly. They're ruthless pruners. They quit bad projects, they fire toxic clients, and they drop strategies that aren't yielding results. They understand that every minute you spend forcing a broken system to work is a minute stolen from an opportunity that could change your life. Quitting isn't a sign of weakness. It is a sign of high intelligence. When you realize a path is leading nowhere, the smartest thing you can do is cut your losses immediately. Strategic quitting frees up the energy you need to go all in on the things that actually matter. 3. They treat multitasking like a virus. Most people brag about their ability to multitask. They sit at their desk with 20 browser tabs open, typing an email, listening to a podcast, and checking their phone every 3 minutes. They feel incredibly busy, but science shows that multitasking literally drops your IQ by 10 points in the moment. You aren't doing multiple things at once. You're just doing everything terribly. You're scattering your cognitive energy into the wind. Top performers practice the art of extreme monotasking. When it is time to write, they only write. When it is time to strategize, they put their phone in another room. They work in intense, highly focused sprints. Usually 60 to 90 minutes of deep, uninterrupted work. In that 1 hour of deep work, they produce more high-quality output than an average person does in an 8-hour shift of fragmented attention. If you want to double your output, stop trying to do 3 things at once. Do one thing with terrifying intensity. 4. They standardize the mundane. Decision fatigue is a real biological limit. Every time you make a choice, what to wear, what to eat for lunch, or when to go to the gym, you burn a small amount of your brain's daily energy supply. Average people wake up and waste their premium morning brain power, making dozens of completely useless micro-decisions. By the time they sit down to do actual important work, their willpower is completely depleted. The elite minimalist standardizes the mundane. This is why you see billionaires wearing the exact same outfit every day. They automate their low-value decisions, so they can hoard their mental energy for high-stakes problems. They eat the same breakfast, they work out at the same time, and they have strict, automated routines. If a decision doesn't make you money, improve your health, or bring you deep joy, put it on autopilot. Stop wasting your genius on figuring out what to wear on a Tuesday. 5. They practice deliberate, high-quality recovery. Look at an average person trying to relax. They lie on the couch, endlessly scrolling through social media, while simultaneously feeling guilty about the work they aren't doing. Their brain is still buzzing with low-grade anxiety. This isn't resting. This is just a different flavor of exhaustion. They never fully engage in their work, but they never fully disconnect either. They live in a gray zone of constant fatigue. Top performers treat rest with the same discipline as a professional athlete. When they're done working, they shut the laptop, and they completely sever the mental cord. They engage in deliberate recovery, taking a walk in nature, having a deeply present conversation with their family, or sitting in absolute silence. They understand that peak performance requires peak recovery. Your brain cannot generate million-dollar ideas if it is constantly suffocating in digital noise and work anxiety. True rest isn't a reward for hard work. It is a prerequisite for it. Here is the bottom line. Stop worshiping the grind. Stop measuring your worth by how tired you are. At the end of the day, you don't need to work harder. You just need to work cleaner. Hunt the big targets. Quit the dead ends. Focus fiercely on one thing at a time. Automate the boring stuff and rest like a champion. Most people will just keep running on the hamster wheel, confusing motion with progress. But if you practice these 5 minimalist habits, you'll break out of the cycle of blind hard work. You'll start achieving more by doing less. And people will wonder how you make it all look so effortless. Now, here is what I want you to do. Pick just one of these habits to implement tomorrow. Maybe you'll write down just one most important task and ignore everything else until it is done. Or maybe you'll finally close those 20 browser tabs and try 1 hour of deep work to help you upgrade your mindset. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell.